Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. Today, I'm very excited because Freda, my sister, is here with me today, and she has designed, and I'm so excited about these, the cutest little duct tape cupcake purses. I think these are adorable. These would be so cute to make for like a little birthday party or something, for everybody to have a little cupcake purse. Aren't they the cutest? I love these, and this is something Freda came up with all on her own. I gave her a challenge. I said, Freda, people are saying to me that they love the duct tape stuff, but the problem is that it's expensive. And so what else can we use other than just duct tape? And so she went home and she thought about it and she came up with this idea. I guess actually you were talking to Simone. And she was talking to one of our friends, Simone, and Simone said, what about that stuff that they make, they make floor coverings out of? And she was like, tarps? And you were like, yeah, tarps. And Freda got to thinking about it. She was like, well,
let's use a tarp.
Let's
try a tarp.
Because the thing about a tarp is that it's
the same sort of woven, strong material as duct tape.
And it's waterproof, which is great. And what's nice about it is it comes in these, I think, pretty blue colors, which I think are great. I think it also comes in gray and black and brown as well. But I mean, it's a fantastic, lightweight, water-resistant material. So it's perfect
it's
for
relatively
purses.
cheap because you can get a lot of purses out of one.
Right, because I think this is an 8-foot tarp. I think it's like 8 foot by 8 foot, and I think it was maybe $4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can get a lot of purses out of one tarp.
Exactly.
So for this project, we're going to need the following materials. We're going to need some of that blue tarp, right? It doesn't have to be blue. It can be any color you want. But
Tarp.
We're going to need some tarp. We're going to need some duct tape. We will need duct tape. We're going to need a Sharpie pen or a pen
permanent marker.
Permanent marker. We're going to need some scissors.
Yep.
Hole puncher.
Yep.
Very important. My personal favorite.
Wire brads.
Wire brads. I love wire brads. These are my favorites.
Parchment paper.
Okay, parchment paper.
Yes.
Got it. And parchment paper you can find in your baking supply area in the supermarket. And then we've got magnets here.
You don't have, magnets are optional, but I personally like to have this magnetic closure on the top of the cupcake purse, but
You could also use Velcro if you wanted to.
or nothing at all.
Right.
It's
I guess you could
optional,
put-
but I would advocate using magnets because they're cool.
All right, so if you can get magnets, magnets are cool, if you can get magnets. So,
And then you're going to need the pattern.
yes, the pattern. And we at Sophie-World.com have come up with a pattern for you. This is a printable PDF from Sophie-World.com. You're going to need two of these.
Print two.
Right. So you're going to need two, and you would cut them out along the line and
Tape them together.
just tape them together end to end, right?
Basically end to end.
So that you end up with a single template.
Yep.
And then we're going to need a piece of tarp that is big enough.
To accommodate this template. A little bit bigger, obviously, than this template.
So the first thing we're going to do is basically trace this.
Onto the tarp. But you're going to want to trace it on the side that you want to be the inside. So I want this, that is going to get covered. So I want this pretty blue to be the inside of my bag. So I'm going to trace it on the outside. On this side, this green side.
The side that's not as attractive.
Exactly.
Because this is going to all get covered with tape, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what she's already done here, you can see.
Is trace that.
We already just traced that out, just so we have that and have that done.
Yes.
So then you would just cut this whole thing out first, or would you do something?
No, now what we're going to do is we're going to actually cover this with the duct tape.
No, how are you going to do that?
Okay, so I'm going to start here from the center.
And what's the brown part for?
For this part of the cupcake, the cup.
Oh, for the cupcake cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to probably want two different colors.
Okay. Now, I noticed you're covering over your pattern. Is that a problem?
I am, and I'm going to do my pattern twice. I'm going to use that paper pattern to trace on this thing twice.
Okay, so basically it doesn't matter. You're just using this tape to cover anywhere that you want that color tape on your actual bag.
That is correct.
And I'm not going to get too concerned about where it ends up because I'm going to retrace it again. So I don't have to worry about the fact that the black line is disappearing.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But you know what is great by tracing it on here first is I'm not going to waste any tape. See, I could have just covered all of this with the brown, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do...
You're just going to cover where you need it on the cup.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
And that way I'm, saving myself tape
Yeah, exactly. Well, this stuff has gotten pretty expensive.
It is, and I'm
It's
doing
great though, but it's pretty
it's getting
expensive.
a little expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm also doing that just sort of general 1/3 overlap just to give it a lot of strength. So then I'm going to continue with and do the pink.
When she says that 1/3 overlap, you could make this entire thing out of duct tape fabric.
Absolutely.
And what duct tape fabric is basically taking layers of duct tape, and when you layer those pieces on top of each other, you want to give them about 1/2 inch to 1/4 of an inch of an overlap so that they actually fuse together and give you a very strong bond. And you would do one sheet on the front, and then when you would flip it over, you would do opposite direction, so the tape going in the opposite direction so it locks it all together, and then you would end up with an entire sheet of duct tape fabric. If you need that tutorial, just go to our YouTube homepage and look up duct tape fabric. We've got a whole tutorial just on the fabric.
I'm going to go ahead and just skip ahead because you
Okay.
get the general idea. I've covered this whole thing, let's say.
So you wanted the top to be pink.
Yes, and I would cover that with pink too, but
Okay.
we're just going to go ahead and jump ahead here.
Okay, super.
So this has already happened.
And so now afterwards you would take your
I'm
template.
going to take that and I'm going to trace it again,
Okay, perfect.
perfectly on top. And then I'm going to cut it out.
And you're just going to cut the whole thing out.
Just going to cut this entire thing on the black line out. And you don't need to see that either, so we'll just jump ahead with that.
Okay, let me just take these so they're out of your way and you have plenty of room. Okay, so now you've got, looks like kind of like a butterfly.
It is a butterfly.
Okay, so now what are you going to do?
So now I'm going to connect the cup corners to make, because as you can see, like this, it just sort of folds up like a little puzzle, and that's going to
cool.
be the cupcake.
Now, can I help you? Would it be helpful if I held for you?
Sure, why not? And I've actually already ripped off some tape here.
Okay, so
So we'll
if
go
I
ahead
hold
and use
this
that.
like that for you, will that help? So
Sure.
that I'm holding it at the corner?
Yeah, sure.
So what I'm doing for her, if you've got a second pair of hands, this is a great project for two people to do together. I'm going to pinch it at the corner here and pinch it at the top there, and she's just going to put the tape right over top.
And you know what? I'm going to also conserve tape, so I'm just going to go ahead and rip this in half,
Sure.
because I just don't need that much.
Great.
So all you do is just give it a little,
Secure on the side there.
yep.
Great.
And then I'm just going to trim that.
That little last piece.
Yep. So you just do that
On all four sides?
on all four sides. And again, I'm just going to jump ahead
Okay.
so we don't take too much time. So this is already secured. And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to secure the inside, just like I have done on these four corners. I'll show you just doing the last inside there.
Cool.
Yeah,
So that's
now
just going to make it nice and secure.
it's secure, it's not sticky, so that when you put your goodies inside, they don't get any tape or hair stuck to them or anything nasty.
Now, this is very cute. And actually, I mean, I'm thinking that you could even just use that as kind of like a little bowl to put like
Totally.
doll clothes in or something like that if you wanted to. Now, how are we going to turn it into a purse?
We can add a handle.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to show? Okay, so yeah,
Do you want me to show them how to make a handle real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So basically, for your handle, we're going to make it about maybe 16 inches long, right?
Yes.
You just take a piece of tape.
It's about 16 inches, right? Just
Yeah.
thinking I already made one. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put two on this or just one?
Two, I think.
So I'm going to match it to your length then. Do you want to put that down just so I can see how long yours is? Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make, can I give you that? I'm just going to make this handle by taking a piece of tape and I flip it over so it's sticky side up. Whoop.
Hey.
Hey, don't do that. And I'm going to fold this basically in thirds here, right? A little bit more than a third, it looks like, right?
That looks perfect.
So I'm going to fold that over. And now to make sure that my strap is matching her strap, I can just put her strap next to it
For fatness.
for fatness.
For width.
It's always good for fatness.
For fatness.
I'm going to hold it right there. Make sure. It seems like yours is a little bit
Yeah.
fatter than that. There we go. So it's a little bit more than a third.
Nothing has to be perfect.
Yeah. But it's fun to try to get it close. And now we're just going to round off the edges, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to round this, that, and round this like that. Now, should we add the straps now? Or do you want to add the magnet now?
Let's add the straps.
Okay, so I'm going to follow you.
Okay, so all we're going to do is, I'm going to do straps.
Ooh, cute.
like this.
Oh, cute.
One
So
on either
yeah,
side.
I like that. I love
Yeah.
that idea. I love that idea.
Let's try that.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do hole punch and hole punch.
Can I do the breads?
Yes.
I love the breads. So you're just going to hole punch the ends of those.
Yeah. And hole punch this side.
And so, whoop. I love that. They're like sticking to the magnets.
And
So,
I would do it on the inside.
okay. So I'm going to take my brads and I'm going to stick them through the hole and put these two together.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you mean about it. What she's saying is put it on the inside as opposed to the outside because it's going to look cleaner and nicer. So I'm just putting the brad through there, flip it over,
Open it up.
and open it up. Now, do I need to get worried about the fact that there's this? Should I fold these down? These are really soft and malleable, you guys, so you can just fold these in on themselves. Just like
And
that.
we'll run some tape over it later.
But what's great about it is that it is malleable there, so you can just do that. And now we're going to fold this one over and grab the other brad, put it in, open it up, and fold it over.
The brads come in all sorts of different sizes. These just happen to be a little long.
I kind of like them when they're long, though, because it
Yeah.
gives you that extra security.
So let's do it to this side too.
Great.
And then we're gonna just decorate it, right? With, I've cut out some sprinkles here. Do you want to show them how to use parchment paper? like
Sure.
that?
So Freda has made some sprinkles, which are basically stickers.
Or jimmies. Jimmies or sprinkles. I think it depends where you come from.
Well, from the East Coast, we've always called them jimmies. But I'm going to take some tape, and I'm just going to put it on here. Now, if you're worried that you're not going to make them perfectly, you can always
Draw it.
You can draw it like this. They kind of look like jelly beans, the way you've made them. They're cute. So you basically put this on your parchment paper and cut it out. I'm going to cut it out like a jelly belly.
The best jelly bean
And the whole jelly scene.
is a jelly belly, jelly belly, jelly belly bean.
And then that gives me a little sticker. And what's great about these, what I love about parchment paper, that is not like any other product out there. We've tried a whole bunch of different products. The only thing that we've found that works this well is parchment paper. It peels off just like a sticker. Just like a sticker. Now, I suppose if you had like a sheet of stickers that you used up,
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah.
you could use that paper. You could save that paper, but
It's the
parchment
same-
paper
yeah,
is
it's the
awesome.
same sort of
So
thing.
now we're just going to decorate it, right? We would just
decorate
embellish
it.
it. And then,
Oh, this part. How could we forget this part?
I don't know.
It's the same thing.
It's your project, so
forgot.
I don't know.
No. So basically, for this, I just wanted to have the fancy sort of make the top of the cupcake fancy.
Right.
So
And you just made a sticker of that.
yeah, and all I did was just take a piece of
Tape.
duct tape, put it on here, made sure it was the right length, and then I just made the wavy line.
Well, she does this stuff by hand and by, it's really easy for her to do this because she does this all the time. For people like me who need a template, we have one for you at the website, sophie-world.com. It's
All
with
the
our
pieces.
cupcakes. So then you would put that on here. Cute, cute.
It's getting better and better.
It is. It always gets better and better.
Better
The more
and
you
better.
embellish things, the better it gets. And then I noticed also that you've got some of these little gold strips already torn.
Just
She's
taking a
basically
strip.
taken regular tape, right? And she has ripped it into.
Oh, that side's done.
She's ripped it into like
Just smaller
quarter-inch-
pieces.
quarter-inch strips, and she's going to make those little folds that you see in your cupcake.
Ridges.
Yeah. Ruffles, ridges have ruffles? Ruffles have ridges, ruffles have ridges.
You get the idea, though. We're just decorating.
So you're having fun right now. And I guess the only other thing that's important to show them is where we would put that
Magnet.
magnet. Now, if you do a little purse like this, I'm realizing you don't necessarily have to have a closure because this would keep it closed for you, right?
Totally.
So you don't have to use a closure, but it's nice to use a closure. And also, the other nice thing to do would
Let's
be to
take
cover
care of
these
those.
with tape.
Yeah.
So you just don't catch it on anything. So she's just going to use a little piece of tape and cover that up. And we're just going to rip it. So you only need as much.
You need like half a piece, actually.
Yeah, you don't need that much. You just need enough to cover it up. Thank you very much. Just so you don't end up catching on it. We'll just do this one. What do you think?
Okay. You get the
You
idea.
get the idea. Do it on all four.
And now the magnet.
So the magnet part.
The secret of the magnet.
Show me the secret of the magnet, miss.
the secret of the magnet is you take the secret of the magnet.
Tell me the secret of the magnet.
Take one magnet, stick the tape on it.
Okay.
Make sure that it's nice and around. Put that on the bag.
Okay. I'll put it on this side so I can get it nice and secure. I'm going to make a diamond pattern.
Then you take your next piece of tape. You put that tape down there.
Put the sticky side up.
Sticky side up, lay it on top, same place. And then you just drop the magnet onto there.
Right.
Then you kiss those two together and smoosh it down.
Kiss. Kiss the two together.
And then it is in the perfect placement.
Perfect. And there you have it.
Easy peasy.
I love that. Look at that. And then it just goes bloop.
Yep.
And keeps everything all inside.
And
Isn't that
it's
the
so
cutest?
cute.
You could even put like little, like this could be like your little lunch bags, right? So
If
could
you
have
just
all your
wanted to eat like a banana, this would be no good for me. Like
You
have
would
a
need
sandwich and a Coke.
We'd need to make a mango one for you.
I need a whole cake.
For more tasty purses, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com. We definitely need mango.